The new car steers badly.
Small dogs require fewer or less food.
Less food.
CFCs may affect with an A or effect with an E the deterioration of the ozone layer.
Effect.
With an A or E?
E.
It's actually an A.
So I got an E for
Like what?
So people have this weird thing where they think that they need to say I for everything. So like they'd say, you know, Cindy and I went to the store, which is correct. But then they're like, oh, well, I'll just use I for everything. So they'll be like, do you want to come to the store with Cindy and I? And that just makes no sense. Do you want to come to the store with I? No, that's incorrect. I have to correct people because they think they're right and they're just wrong. I'm angry. It angers me.
There's a category of people commonly called grammar Nazis, and there is certainly a mold for these people, and calling them Nazis is a little bit accurate, I think. There's something fascist about grammar, authoritarian. There are people who like to display, I think, a certain amount of erudition, who enjoy being correct. And I think that anybody who's interested in grammar has to admit a certain element of that into their, into their character. I mean, clearly it's bad to be a Nazi, but I don't know if a little bit of appreciation for rule following is necessarily a bad character trait. I'm Ryan P. Young. I'm a graduate student in the creative writing program here at UT. I do poetry. Grammar is just the set of rules that organize the language. Grammar is just the way that you put words together. And so, I mean, slangs have language. But I mean, slangs are actually a beautiful example of an important fact about language, which is that it is a natural phenomenon. It's something that arises out of human behavior and practice. And so it changes. But it changes according to certain rules. And even when you think that you are ignoring grammar entirely and speaking in, your text message speak as the youth are wont to do these days, you are still obeying a grammar. It's just a different sort of grammar than the standard spoken English grammar. Anyway, there's a spoken English grammar even and a written English grammar, which ideally, optimally are the same thing, but realistically, we speak with slightly different sets of rules than we would write by. So. Buffalo.
How are you? I'm good.
It's not I'm good, it's I am doing well. It's well, not good.
Mama gave it to baby girl. Let it show. Want to pop, walk,
this makes absolutely no sense, but it makes sense when I listen to the song.
Is you feel like that you're holding, that it's your job to keep guard of this precious object, which is our language. But at the same time, that's not always a good attitude to have, and it can cause a lot of problems. And abstracting out that general feeling, you do wind up with Nazis. So, I am fond of the subjunctive mood. I think the subjunctive mood, it's something that's falling out of practice in English. But were I in charge of the world, I would ensure that the subjunctive mood remained. There was subjunctive use in that sentence, so it's kind of a joke. But,
Number 4. Last night
I laid awake in bed. That's incorrect. That's incorrect.
Claire saw who yesterday?
It should be Claire saw who yesterday?
Bring. Hi, is Nicole there?
This is her.
Yes, this is she.
No, it should be this is she.
Number 7. Want to come with?
Want to come with? That's incorrect.
Olympian
I think,
girls who sang
preposition.
always find us young and always keep us safe.
This sounds like poetry.
At the same time, it is a fact that the ability to speak correctly is a marker of of education, is a marker of refinement, and it is probably difficult for people who speak in an idiom so distinctive from sort of the standard English way to be able to participate and engage in the practice among that group of language speakers. For achieving business success or something like that, certainly that kind of thing is important. At the same time, perhaps we ought to consider the other way around and think about whether or not it's okay to accept alternate grammars into sort of our contemporary idiom.
Is it between you and me or I?
It's I, but everybody is me.
We got on one of the vans that were or was overdue for maintenance.
Yeah, one of the vans. We got on one of the vans. Let's see. Vans is plural. I'm on, by the way. This is embarrassing. We got one of the vans that was.
No one tried harder than her or she to find tights to wear.
Her.
It's actually she.
No one tried harder than she to find tights.
You guys, is it I will lie or lay down at noon?
I will lie at noon.
But I'm here to teach you that after verbs, you use adverbs, but after certain kinds of verbs, you use adjectives. So things called auxiliary verbs, like feeling, you wouldn't say I feel sickly, right? You'd feel I feel sick. So feel is an auxiliary verb, so you'd use an adjective afterward. So for example, if anyone tries to say after you say I am good, if they're like, no, that's incorrect, you say I am well. Say screw you, good is correct. Because after am you use an adjective. That's all I got.